What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Thursday's 7-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. Man, this 6-gamer on Wednesday. So there were some things going on. We had 3 games locking at 10 p.m. Eastern time. You had to revolve your night around them. I don't see any way around it, even if the Charlotte-Chicago game had come to fruition, which thank God it didn't, other than LaMelo Ball, who was the one guy I was high on. I just thought there was such an edge to late swapping, and it seems as though Justice Winslow, CJ Elleby, absolute smashes, second straight time. Thank God Josh Hart was out, because if Josh Hart wasn't out, we were probably in a lot of trouble. But still, we'll see kind of how this ends up panning out. We've got a lot of pieces still going here. It's like halfway through the third in all of these late night hammers. But Ryan, how's your night going?
Yeah, I had a personal event to take care of where I wasn't around to really look at the slate. All I knew, there was 3 games at 10 and a lot of pending news. So I just came back around my computer with about a few minutes left to go before they tipped off. So I knew LaMelo Ball is going to be pretty popular in the Charlotte guys. And Russell Westbrook now playing definitely helped LeBron and Anthony Davis to a certain extent. LeBron more so, but they've been kind of disappointing. I think they turned it up a little bit in this third quarter, but I think it's been LaMelo Ball and the Trailblazers, and then you mix and match your Kings and Minnesota value, and you have the Nuts.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell has 47 fantasy points. There's 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Absolute gigantic smash, and I will also say 30 by a non-starting Hassan Whiteside. Thank God I couldn't pivot off of most of that. That was more luck than anything, but I don't know why they're not starting him. They're not going to continue to. I think Malik Monk might stop me from winning anything tonight, which is unfortunate. That's one piece that somehow I landed on just in the absence of Russell Westbrook that I wish I hadn't. But you know what? You can't be perfect all the time. Hopefully, one of the lineups that doesn't have him can get to the top. But anything you want to talk about on this slate, Ryan, or should we get to Thursday?
I think, it's one of those. I mean, it's tough to go into a slate when there are 8 mega studs questionable at the 10 p.m. game.
That's a like really light way of putting it.
There were though 8 mega studs questionable. So, and then there's the insertion of Domantas Sabonis to a team. So there was obviously a ton of moving parts, which made us probably overanalyze the front court situation in Oklahoma City. 6 stocks of a guy like Alexei Pokusevski helps. Blowout run does help there, but the minutes seemed like they were there, but he seemed like a guy that I think was a little too low owned. He's shown an upside here and there, but there's obviously a floor. He's an exceptional tournament play. Yeah,
I played 0% Derek Favors, so I thought that I had to play a little bit. I should have played a lot of it is the right answer. With Diakite getting released, all the signs were there. That's one of those things where you got to kind of not go with your gut, but like legitimately look at that front court and say, is Bazley going to play 35 minutes? Is Derek Favors going to play 35 minutes? No, neither of those are probably going to happen. Maybe Bazley does, but I was high on Pokusevski. I should have been even higher, and not even just like a hindsight 2020. If he puts up 22, maybe I don't notice, but I probably still do because, he played a lot more minutes than what I think people were expecting. But what I am expecting right now is that you guys need to hit that like button for Ryan, the Sacramento Kings truther, Rayen Patnaik over there. That's for sure. Hit the like button for him, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Yesterday was spicy. I think we'll try to keep it to a little bit more tame because you know what's not going to be tame? Tomorrow. Things are going to happen. So I'm going to ask you this before we get to the DFS, Ryan. 1, do James Harden or Ben Simmons move? And 2, what is the trade or player you're looking forward to the most getting moved?
I don't think James Harden gets traded. I think all these guys are engagement farming on social, which is fine. I think engagement farming. I mean, they gotta pay the bill somehow.
What do you do here at Awesemo, Ryan?
Huh?
What do you do here at Awesemo?
I don't farm engagement. I'll tell you that. But they definitely are engagement farm. I don't think Harden gets traded. It wouldn't shock me if Simmons gets traded in some bizarre fashion out of the blue, like. It could definitely happen as Simmons. He can definitely get moved. Guy who there'll be like a guy who gets moved that no one expects and will cause a big brouhaha. But outside of that, it's the trade deadline. I hope there's chaos, honestly. It'll be fun for DFS purposes, but I don't know what other trades can happen to really get me going. I mean, if Simmons ends up in Atlanta for some reason and you get a bunch of guys headed back to Philly is one option, or if Simmons finally ends up in Golden State, which can definitely happen out of the blue. There are a lot of different things that could just happen that would be like, whoa, how'd that happen? It's just a trade deadline. I hope there's chaos. It was a cool deadline last year. It was another good one when LeBron just sold half his team. I believe that was in 2018, where I think 11 or 15 guys got traded in the trade deadline. That was an interesting one. He still led that team to the finals, so anything can happen.
I think yesterday, 24 hours ago, I was convinced it's impossible for the Lakers to move Russell Westbrook. I thought it was absolutely asinine for a team to take under that contract.
I don't think it's ever impossible this
But
day.
I'm saying I think I've changed my tune in the last 24 hours. So I think we could see Russell Westbrook in New York. We could see Russell Westbrook somewhere really random. Like, I think that's in play.
I think Ben Simmons is more likely to get traded than Russell Westbrook.
I agree with that. But I think they're both pretty more likely than I thought they were yesterday to get moved.
Yeah, I'd be really shocked if James Harden gets traded. I think all this stuff about he wants out, it seems kind of bizarre. It doesn't seem very real to me. I think it wouldn't make sense for the Nets to give him to the Eastern Conference when you're going to have to battle with him all like in Philly for years to come. So a lot of things can change. It's a trade deadline. It's a fun day. We'll see what ends up finally going down, though.
Get your popcorn ready, everybody. It's going to be a fun day. Minnesota, make some moves. Let's go. One time we're actually viable here. Maybe we can make something happen.
What do you want to see Minnesota do?
I don't know anything. Can we go out and get anyone?
I think they have a formidable starting five to win a round.
Oh, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. I mean, I'm irrational over here. Here's the thing. If D'Angelo Russell plays like
you haven't won a playoff round since when?
I think it's like 2003.
Yeah, the year that you guys were supposed to play the Pistons in the finals and you guys lost.
KG, shout out. Latrell Sprewell, Sam Cassell, Wally Zerbiak. How you doing, guys? Fred Hoiberg, I think.
Fred Hoiberg was on that team? Wow.
I think so.
Was Mark Madsen on that team?
I have to go double check. Mark Madsen was definitely on that team. Stormin Mormon. By the way, I ran into him at a Mormon film festival. I'm not Mormon, but I was out here in Los Angeles. Buddy was Mormon. Went to a Mormon film festival and just happened to run into a massive man in Mark Madsen. Fun story for everybody. All right, let's get to it. We've got DFS to talk, but it's the trade deadline. This is the one time we got to be a little bit Sports Center roundtable first take-ish because it could be fun. Minnesota, do anything. I don't care what it is. Go get some sixth man guy. Too bad Malik Beasley's contract is completely unmovable, but please smash that like button, subscribe, and notification bell.
He's someone that could definitely get traded.
That would be incredible. I would love that more than words, and not just because he's not a good person. But here we go. Let's go to the DraftKings spot. I know people don't like the good person, bad person. I think it's pretty indisputable that Malik Beasley probably less of a good person than most.
I mean, Larsa Pippen thought he was a good guy for about 2 weeks. So.
To the guard position on DraftKings. You ready to get going, my friend?
Yeah, let's ride.
I don't want to talk Larsa Pippen.
Neither does Scotty. I was kidding.
Man, I love how much you know about gossip. I love how much you know about NBA wives and girlfriends and things of that nature. Luka Doncic, 12-4, very expensive against the Clippers. This is probably the one time, when people go on YouTube and they say, so-and-so is so good against this team. Well, Luka Doncic owns the Clippers. And given there's no Paul George, so maybe, the incentive is a little bit down. But my God, I am just in love with Luka Doncic, 12-4. He's the most expensive player on the entire slate. But that's okay. I think we're going to be able to find room for him, especially if some things happen. Maybe in Detroit here. We'll see kind of how this pans out with the likes of Jeremy Grant. Probably not going to get moved, but still something fun to think about. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 12,000. Well, sorry, we're staying at the guard spot. I had clicked over to see most expensive player on the slate, but Steph Curry, back-to-back, 10-5 at home against New York here. Klay Thompson will be back for this one. Otto Porter will be sitting for this one. So keep those things in mind. Kyrie Irving, 10-4 against Washington. No James Harden already. 10-4, that'll be an interesting talking point there. Obviously, they're on the road in Washington. Therefore, with the vaccine mandate, he is able to play. John Morant, 10-3, Memphis there. Brandon Ingram, 9,200. And Chris Paul, 9,200. Those are your 9K plus players. Ryan, who are your favorite players to play up here at the guard spot on DraftKings?
Yeah, so in terms of DFS purposes, keep in mind it's a trade deadline. A whole team could get eviscerated based on trades. And there's going to have to be a minimum of 9 guys active per team. So there could be some weird, funky DFS things that could break down tomorrow in the trade deadline. So keep an eye on that situation. So stars and scrubs obviously is very fun if we can get there. So spending up for Luka spending up for Luka at that price tag makes a lot of sense at 12-4 if there's enough value to go to. Now John Morant comes in at 10-3. Looking at that tag against a Detroit spot, the upside's there to be one of the highest scoring players on the slate. You're just looking for value, and I think the value should open up if there's some trades among the 14 teams in play tomorrow. So keep in mind there. We do get a rematch of the NBA Finals between Phoenix and Milwaukee. But I think both Booker and Chris Paul are priced up. And they've been paying out that price tag, but it's a tough Milwaukee matchup. I'd rather save the money and go to a Drew Holiday in that same game with that savings. Now, I expect CJ McCollum to play tomorrow for the Pelicans, and it's not going to help Brandon Ingram there. I expect McCollum potentially to be the lead dog on this offense, and that might shock people. But I think McCollum will lead the team in usage very, very soon, and he should be hopefully he's the lead ball handler, I think, over Devonta Graham. I think it'll be a good role for CJ McCollum to shine. So with that usage, it's a tough Miami spot. It's something that I think I'd stay away. But the value's there. Maybe he shows out in his debut type of situation. James Harden's already been ruled out for tomorrow. So I think we can go to a Kyrie Irving at that price tag. I have no issues falling on Kyrie up at that price tag. And then Cam Thomas has been balling at 5K. And if Brooklyn wants to improve somehow, Cam Thomas is a very talented player. He was a steal in the draft, so I doubt he gets moved. They probably would like to keep him, but he's 5K. He's been shooting a ton when he's on the court.
Those are all true things. Cam Thomas, definitely somebody who's in play. Happy Taylor Horton Tucker night. This is just stupid. I'm getting upset. Let's head on over to FanDuel here. Point guard, 11-2 Luka Doncic. We've got James Harden out here. John Morant, 10-2 there at point guard. Steph Curry, 9,800. Sub 10K. Klay Thompson back, but getting Otto Porter. I will say Adam Scher pointed out a couple of beautiful things there. Klay Thompson has kind of lowered Steph Curry's usage to sub 21% in just under 220 minutes this season. That's kind of ridiculous when you think about that. Klay Thompson, that's going to regress, but they're trying to get Klay Thompson involved.
I think there's a key component to that reason, right? So there's no Draymond Green. They haven't played. They've played only 11 seconds with Draymond Green on the court together, and that's the game Draymond had to leave. So that usage will spike back up when Draymond is back because the way they play the game, it's all centered around Draymond Green getting Steph Curry the ball in the situation. So that will definitely change, and I think that we had to take that with a grain of salt until Draymond comes back. But when I know that tomorrow Draymond's not going to be there, but that will change really soon.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's the thing. Again, stats can be noisy, and there's ways to interpret things, but I will say pretty surprising to see that low of usage with Steph Curry, but I think you're 100% correct. Facilitating, definitely something that needs to happen more for Steph, and that's what's happening. Chris Paul, 9,500, but Kyrie Irving, 9,400 is going to be crazy, and I mean crazy popular in this slate. How much do you like him at 9,400 tomorrow?
I like him a lot, but there's also a non-zero chance he gets moved in a weird way too. So it's non-zero. You never know with Kyrie.
I wish I had a tinfoil hat right now for Ryan. This is serious. I'm actually going to go find a hat. Keep going.
Yeah, I like Kyrie Irving quite a bit. So at that price, you can definitely take your chances at Kyrie. there should be enough value to jam in stars and scrubs. So paying up for Giannis and Luka, no issues there in the respective matchups. Blowout concern for me for Morant in that Detroit spot, but he's going to carry you there for sure. Now, if you're looking at other guards, if Cade Cunningham plays and if he has no minutes restriction at 6,900, he seems pretty darn awesome. So I have no issues if you fall on something like that. But if you want to spend down a little bit, there's going to be some value. Guys like Patty Mills was disappointing, but I have no issues if you fall on a guy like him. Kyle Lowry's fallen to 5,400. I know it's a different role now in Miami, but the offense could definitely pan out. While Jalen Green is now sub 5K, you can definitely take some chances there as well.
How's this for a tinfoil hat? Just some ridiculous monstrosity up top. No, you're not getting it.
I don't think not people will. I noticed that you have another hat on, but I don't think many people will notice that. Now they will. Yeah.
You know what? This is where Chris Baggs would come in handy. He would help me sell a bit. He would turn this around. We would find a way to sell it, but you know what? It's just not what it is. It's okay. I got my boy Rayen Patnaik along for the ride, and Chris Baggs is laughing with his 50-some K that he made in NBA last year. Good for him, by the way. My good friend, Chris Baggs. I have no idea who you said for value, but I will say Cade Cunningham. If there's no Jeremy Grant, you could be talking about Detroit going up against Memphis, where you have Frank Jackson, 4,100 on FanDuel. You've got a number of those guys that would all be viable. Killian Hayes is, I believe, questionable going into this game. No, he's probable now. So we're looking at a spot where I think we could definitely be invested. If Cade Cunningham plays, Jeremy Grant doesn't. If he gets moved, there you go. How's that for facts? Let's do that.
And I think Spencer Dinwiddie, Beal has been pretty much ruled out for the year. Dinwiddie against Brooklyn, he could definitely spike an upside. And he's also another weird guy who might get moved as well. So there's been a lot of talks there that could happen. There's so many guys who can get moved that we don't know about. So just keep an eye on what develops throughout the day.
All right, my friend, let's head over to Yahoo, our sponsor. Guard Doncic 54. We've got John Morant 45, Steph Curry 44, Chris Paul 40. I'm looking a little further down because Kyrie Irving's there at $37. That is just fantastic. We saw Norman Powell get the start there for the Clippers. Only played 24 and 23 minutes here, but that's because of massive blowouts. I gotta say, in a game where they're going up against Dallas, it shouldn't be as bad. I mean, Dallas has obviously been playing well in the absence even of Porzingis, but I gotta feel like Norman Powell's a guy that I might want to be invested in for the first time period. Plays 30 plus minutes. He's somebody who can be a flamethrower there from time to time. So at least be on the lookout there. Number of other plays that maybe we can go a little bit cheaper. Who are some of your favorites, Ryan?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to take some chances on. But I think looking at Yahoo, but it's a tough thing to really pinpoint with confidence just because of the trade deadline looming. But I think we feel confident in those studs to take your chances on. If you get enough value, which I think there will be some interesting trades that break down throughout the evening, where it should be enough for us to jam in a guy like Luka, even at that elevated price tag. He's just been absolutely balling, and it's tough to move away from such things like that. The Clippers might not be done trading as well. That's something that they might improve their front court potentially, but we want to spend down. I doubt anyone wants Kemba Walker, but he's $10. Cam Thomas is $15. I think Jalen Green is at $16. Expect Eric Gordon to get traded. If he doesn't get traded in this trade deadline, I don't know what the Rockets are doing. But Eric Gordon is someone I think your Minnesota Timberwolves wouldn't mind taking a flyer on.
Just take Malik Beasley, take him, ship him off to Boston. Oh, shipping off to... I thought it was funny. You know it's not funny? How much money you can win at Yahoo. And therefore, bang, new Yahoo users. Get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You deposit $10 or more. Play in any of the great paid contests with the lowest rate in the industry. Win cash and get that free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum at the exact same time. Yahoo has massive Super Bowl contests, things you want to be checking out there constantly. some of the best NBA contests as well. We're talking 11, 12% rake as opposed to 16.5% rake on DraftKings and FanDuel. That is going to save you a lot of money over time. Oh, and they've had 5 and 10K, 15K on Fridays to first. Lots of great prize pools. So if you're thinking you can't make a lot of money over at Yahoo, you are kidding yourself, because you absolutely can. Head over there, try out some of those contests, see why Ryan, why myself, why we're playing so much over there. So stop guessing, start winning. Join us at Awesemo Plus, but do it through this lovely promotion we have with Yahoo, the best promotion we've ever ran here at Awesemo. All right, my friend, though. That was really efficient. Let's head to the forward spot. I'm still kind of lamenting that my hat bit didn't work. I didn't really know what to do with it.
It happens. It happens.
I just feel sad. Giannis Antetokounmpo's $12,000. He's coming off of, 80 fantasy points. We should probably roster somebody who's capable of doing that if we have the funds to do so. Pascal Siakam coming off of a massive game here on this slate. 59 fantasy points against the OKC Thunder. I believe that was the number that we saw from him today, and that's pretty good. Jimmy Butler's 9,300. Brandon Ingram's 92, coming off of a disappointing game. Now a tough matchup against Miami, but we've seen some 60-point upside from him alongside Josh Hart and company. Why not in the absence of these guys? We'll see if CJ McCollum's good to go here. Seems like everybody else is good to go here lately. Maybe we'll see if he's good to go. Larry Nance is obviously out here for a long time now. He just had surgery, a lot of other things happening there. Tony Snell could exist in the world and play minutes, but what are you kind of seeing here out of the forward position at the top end, Ryan?
Yeah, looking at the forward spot, I expect McCollum to fully go. I have no issues about falling with the CJ McCollum situation. It doesn't help Brandon Ingram. I think I said this earlier. I think CJ McCollum should be the lead usage guy on this team. We'll see how often that'll occur. As there are some other guys who need the ball on this team to maximize their efforts, guys like Valanciunas and Ingram. But looking at the forward spot to spend up, I have no issues going to a Jimmy Butler at 9,300. Siakam could put up a massive performance in those 40-plus minutes against Houston for sure. Yeah, I don't know if this might be the first time they're playing since Giannis's historic Game 6 50-point closeout win. He's 12K, and we saw what Giannis can do. He was a monster the other night. He stayed on the court for the fourth quarter.
It was incredible.
He put on like 30 more fantasy points at one point where I thought he wasn't even going to come back.
A lot of that.
Now looking at the mid-tier, with Klay Thompson coming back, Andrew Wiggins is no longer that interesting. But if you want to spend down a little bit more, offering Şengün is still sub 5K. I like the minutes. I like the way they're trying to sometimes run the offense through him a bit more. And those are all important factors for Şengün to get there. And the coach speak is there. I like him at 4,800. And I think the field will as well, but he's a strong play. Jeremy Grant, the Pistons probably should trade him, but they probably won't, just the way the Pistons have been running things at the trade deadline. It's something to keep an eye on. They're turning into the Spurs. The Spurs have never done trade deadline deals, except they acquired Juancho Hernan-Gomez for absolutely nothing. But Jeremy Grant at 6,100, I like at that price tag. People forget, at one point he was north of 8K last year. Granted, there was no Cade Cunningham, but that's what you're shooting for, is that upside within a player. And Jeremy Grant definitely has that.
Yes, he does. Marcus Morris does too. Even new circumstances, he got ejected from that game. He's 6,300, $200 more there, but he's playing 36 minutes and just shooting the ball really well. 5 for 8 from 3, 6 for 7 from 3. I don't expect that kind of efficiency, but I think 40 fantasy points for a guy who should still play 32 minutes, even with Covington. And go ahead. What's up?
Can we take a moment of silence? Nikola Jokic put Markieff Morris in a coffin after just launching his back. Markieff Morris is not going to return for the rest of the year after that incident.
Oh, I smell lawsuit.
Apparently, he's not going to return for the rest of the year. He messed up his neck that bad. He shouldn't have done that dirty play, Markieff.
Yeah, and there's enough of him making dirty plays too that it's like, I don't know. I kind of feel bad. Good thing Jokic could afford a good lawyer. I think that's that. Also, there's probably got to be some kind of protection from the
I don't think
players
Jokic is
union for
going to
that stuff.
send a lawyer. Jokic is going to send his two brothers.
One can only hope. That would make great TV. Let's head over to FanDuel. Giannis 11-5. God, that's such a great anecdote. Pascal Siakam 10-4. Crazy that that's still interesting, but he plays 1,000 minutes and puts up a lot of fantasy points, so maybe. Julius Randle up to 10K against Golden State. No thanks. Bam Adebayo 9,400 against New Orleans. Maybe, even though I don't really like that number. But Brandon Ingram 8,400. That's not enough of a bump. I'm going to roster him a lot. Kyle Kuzma 7,900. No Beal here for the foreseeable future. That makes Kyle Kuzma intriguing, even though he's been complete ass the last two games. Ryan, where are we going at the top end of forward?
Yeah, look at the top end of forward on FanDuel. I have no issues to play Kuzma. He'll be very low owned, but the upside is there in a depleted Brooklyn team. They'll have Kyrie, but they'll be still pretty short-handed. So I have no issues if you fall on a guy like him, but keep in mind he's been inconsistent of late, but Brooklyn's a get-right spot. So I have no issues if you play Kuzma. But if you want to spend up, there is an 8-2 Christian Wood on the opposite side of Pascal Siakam. Christian Wood is priced reasonably, appropriately, not cheap or anything, but no issues if you fall on him. We saw Julius Randle get back to the 10K price tag. They'll be taking on a Golden State team on a back-to-back. Hassan Whiteside has stalked Golden State out of this game as they are now up.
They're down 23. When did that happen?
Yeah, Hassan Whiteside now is up to 8 stocks. And he's destroying the slate at this moment. So
I love it.
He is absolutely taking people to the promised land. Well, if you want to spend down a little bit, Scotty Barnes is playing a ton of minutes. The upside should happen at one point at 6,400. He's been pretty rock solid. Miami cleared up some roster spots. There could be, I don't know if they can do any trades of relevance, but they might be able to just do something that can shake things up a little bit with their roster. And then Jeremy Grant is $5,200. He's $100 more than Alperen Şengün. It's tough not to love Jeremy Grant at $5,200. That's just simply too damn cheap.
Yep, way too cheap.
That is if he's still a Piston.
So I was gonna say, just asterisk, guys. If he's not playing tomorrow, don't roster him. But I don't think that's our job to say that. It's our job to give you advice, and that is ours. Don't play guys who aren't playing basketball tomorrow. Giannis Antetokounmpo, $56 on Yahoo. That's a big tag. $41, Jimmy Butler. Large discrepancy between the two. I think at least that has to be expressed. If there isn't a ton of $10 value, which I kind of expect there to be on Yahoo, Giannis is tougher to get to. Brandon Ingram, $37 at small forward. That should be fun to get to. Jeremy Grant, your boy, $26 there, power forward. Going to be tougher for me to land on when you have Julius Randle at $33. That's a lot better than the 10K we just talked about over on FanDuel. Kuzma's 30. A lot of different guys we can kind of roster in this bottom end here too as well. We could be looking at Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know who that fifth starter is going to be here. You're going to get Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Otto Porter sitting. They need a bigger body, so they can't just play like Jordan Poole or somebody there. It's got to be Kuminga, I would think, don't you?
Yeah, it's going to be tough to pinpoint what's going to happen with Golden State. Yeah, it could be him or Juan T.
Don't say that. Don't ever say that. Stay.
What?
Stay as long as you can. Cherish it for the love of God. It's Billy Madison.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, what's going on? But
we're off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, it's a trade deadline slate. We just are trying to pinpoint our way through the slate before anything madness occurs, and madness will definitely occur. I don't know, honestly, what to do with the Golden State situation. We haven't dealt with this situation when Bielitsa, Porter, and Draymond Green have all been out, I don't think. I'm trying to think who started last time in this situation.
I'll find it.
It could be Kuminga for sure, and that would make some sense.
And play. Yeah.
If there's no Jeremy Grant and no Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey is expensive, but he might shoot the ball 30 times. Or Hamidou Diallo, or even Kelly Olynyk. It's just all these guys could just get moved. It's just kind of really hard to proceed with any type of confidence. Patty Mills has small forward eligibility. You can definitely take some chances there, but it's a rough slate in terms of value will open up if there are trades. Now, if there aren't any trades on the trade deadline, that kind of pissed me off. But
Moses Moody is going to be the starter tomorrow, probably.
Oh, yeah, he did play the 3.
I think it's got to be Kuminga, though. Kuminga's actually played meaningful minutes here of late. And Moses Moody, that was the guy who was starting here before I was just going through box scores. Played 9 minutes against OKC, played like 24-37 randomly there in the third and first. But otherwise, he's been out of the rotation in some games. I'm going to go with Kuminga. I hope projections don't have Kuminga, and that might be a fun way to get to him.
Yeah. I mean, that game's going to tip off at 10 p.m. at night, right?
Yep.
And by then, they also share the same tip-off time as the Bucks and Suns. Finally, a good national television game.
No kidding.
So one of the Bucks and Suns, I don't expect many trades to happen. Maybe an Eric Gordon falls to Phoenix is a potential destination where they ship off Landry Shamet or some other scrub who they don't play.
Malik Monk is going to keep me from winning 100K on DK. That's very nice of him.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We go to center because that's better news. We have better news at center. You know why? Because you got Giannis and Pascal Siakam, 12K, 9,800 over on DraftKings where you can roster them there. Bam Adebayo, 9K. That's pretty expensive. Christian Wood, 8K. I mean, I don't see him getting moved. That's one guy I'm pretty secure saying and it's going to be in Houston because otherwise they're just like disabling everything. John Wall getting moved. That'd be hilarious at this point in time. Forgot about that guy. Jonas Valanciunas, 7,700. Portis, 6,800. Everybody looks pretty overpriced, but there is a guy in Jackson Hayes, 5,600. That's not $100 price increase coming off of 36 minutes is not enough. And I know it's a tough Miami spot, but I don't really care. I think he's going to be pretty popular. I think Isaiah Stewart is definitely somebody you can get to. We've seen him play 32, 33, 33, 29 minutes and put up massive rebounding totals, even alongside Jeremy Grant in his return here. So that's somebody to probably get to. Your boy Şengün is down here, power forward center. I guess center isn't as good as what you would think here. We're coming off of McGee at 4,200, being a guy that in 22 and 18 minutes is starting to do what we were hoping he could do in 26 and 28 minutes in the absence of Ayton. But I digress. That's how DFS works. Ryan, where do you see yourself landing at center on DraftKings?
Yeah, looking at the DraftKings center slate, I mean, you can play, what's his name, Giannis at the center spot. So,
what's his name?
Like I forgot his name.
Oh, you're fun.
But he's expensive and you pay for nice things and he's on an absolute roll. But he's someone you can definitely take your chances on. Saving to Siakam or Christian Wood is completely fine. And then there's DeAndre Ayton at 6,600, who had some excellent rebounding games against Milwaukee. Kind of tapered off towards the end of the series, but he's 6,600 with a clear upside at that price tag. Now, Mitchell Robinson is questionable. If he's out, I think Taj Gibson started last time. We can't go there, but going back to the situation, we're trying to pinpoint who's going to start at the 4 at Golden State. If there's no Mitchell Robinson, they might just be able to run small, which could definitely work out for Golden State and this Knicks team where they just try to body up Randall at 5. Now, if you want to spend down a little bit more, Ivica Zubac is down to $3,900. The minutes have been all over the spot, but damn, that's pretty cheap for Ivica Zubac as his teammate Isaiah Hartenstein. But Şengün, you can definitely go to at 4,800, which is, I think he'll be very popular by the time the slate starts.
You think Şengün at what number? Did you say 4,100?
4,800.
4,800. There you go. I misheard. That was all I was saying because I was looking at 4,100 while you were saying that. Maxi Kleber's 4K. I think he's playing.
That guy's the true definition of a tournament play. He can get you 5 or 35, it feels like.
Yep.
He is the true definition of a tournament play. And I always hesitate to roster him. It's probably burned me more than not, but damn. Yeah, you can fire up some Maxi Kleber.
Yeah, and Hartenstein, the best center now for the Clippers. So weird to say that right now. I still love my boy Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac. He's my boy forever and ever and ever.
Weren't you going to name your dog Zubac at one point?
I was going to. For those who don't know, he was my biggest DFS win, was responsible because that guy, back when he was at the Lakers, without LeBron, without AD, without anybody there, the man, before he got traded to the Clippers, put up the performance of a lifetime. I needed a double-double from the man. I got like 20 and 20 or something like that. It was unbelievable. Thank you so much to him. My second dog will be named Zubac. That'll be fun.
Nice.
But Duke and Zubac. Duke had to be the first one. God, he's been a nightmare today. Julius Randle, 10K. Bam Adebayo, 9,400. Christian Wood, 8,200. I'm looking at Ayton at 7,300 and Jonas Valanciunas at 7K as the most popular guys to get to at that position. I don't think there's really even a question about what. What'd you say?
Lakers about to lose to the Blazers.
That is so bad. I said put fuel on the fire here. Like really force the hands of the front office here. Looks like they are. They're down 5 seconds to go here. Dennis Smith Jr. been the guy in the fourth quarter here. I've been watching a little bit of that. I try not to be a bad kid, and I have my iPad here. It's hard not to go back and forth on League Pass, or in this case, cable, because otherwise it's blacked out on League Pass because I live in LA. Nobody cares about this, Ryan. People care about FanDuel Center. Who do you like the most over there?
Yeah, looking at the FanDuel Center spot, it's the center kind of sucks on this slate. I'm just being honest. I mean, it's no one exciting. There's the opportunity cost is not all that high. Guys who are kind of priced more expensive than they usually are. Valanciunas now has to deal with the McCollum at 7K. He seems great at that price tag, but what's the usage going to look like with McCollum? A lot less than it was about 2 days ago, and it's not an easy spot. It's going to be popular. That's just leading to Şengün at 5,100, who's like, yeah, I'm going to get minutes. Can I just play like the Turkish League MVPs? Kind of what you're hoping for. Well, otherwise than that, like you're going to have to play. There's like Montrezl Harrell, McGee, Zubac, all in the same price tier. They all are gross. Blake Griffin is 5,200. Now, if that team's absolutely shorthanded and easy starts, I can definitely go there. But Nick Claxton might return. Damn, even with this being a trade deadline slate, it just sucks. You might want to just spend up for 10K Randall. Fuck, yeah. This blows. No, I'm not joking.
That was just candid. I haven't heard an F-bomb. I'm here for it.
I think I dropped one yesterday.
You did, but that was different. That was like in the heat of the moment. Heat of the moment.
I had to rewatch our little kerfuffle we had, and it was a good one.
You should do it more. To Yahoo we go, to the top of center, by the way. YouTube chat really loves you. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, YouTube comment section really loves you.
I mean, the way NBA Twitter was, I thought I was definitely going to get some heat. But damn, I appreciate the love.
Good to be Ryan. It's good to be Ryan. Let's head over to Yahoo here and round this out. Our sponsor, Pascal Siakam, 42. We've got 35 for Bam Adebayo, Christian Wood, 31, Jonas Valanciunas, 29. Again, center's just not that good of a position tomorrow. We generally look at it being better. Isaiah Stewart at $16. I like Kleba at 15 if you want to take that shot. I think he's better at 4K over on DK. Hartenstein, $13 we're looking at for him there. But Kelly O, like this is a guy we haven't talked about here, and he's been playing like really, really low minutes. I would expect he gets moved, but if Jeremy Grant gets moved, I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be Isaiah Stewart, but if you just, for whatever reason, have Kelly O there, go ahead and play him. That would be fun in the absence of anybody there whatsoever. What sticks out to you on our sponsor, Yahoo, to round this puppy out?
The way center has gone on the other two slates, it sucks on Yahoo too. I mean, it's just not a fun center slate. And if there are no trades, man, I mean, that's going to be a whack-ass slate, not going to lie. Yeah. But, yeah, Christian Wood at 31 and Siakam is fine. The mid-tier, Bobby Portis is no longer fun to roster with all these guys back. Valanciunas, yeah, at $29, but it's a tough spot against Miami. McCollum coming into the mix. I think it's going to just force our hand to spend down and just fire some chances on a guy like Thomas Bryant, Dwight Powell, Alfred Şengün, Blake Griffin. And it's definitely not a double center slate as of now. It could definitely turn into one if let's say Christian Wood gets moved, we get Şengün playing all the 5 in the world. That'd be amazing because then we just hammer in Şengün. But a lot of things can change. But yeah, center kind of absolutely blows.
0.1% Jeremy Lamb on FanDuel going to win me something. I've got a lot of him. He's over 30 fantasy points right now. I've never bought a jersey of a player after one game of playing for a team, but I think Jeremy Lamb might have to be a guy that I do that for here. We are nearing the end of the slate here. Going to be a fun one. Ryan, any final words for the people?
No, it's the trade deadline slate. Root for a lot of trades so we can have a fun DFS slate. But as of now, the slate looks awful. So root for a lot of trades.
It looks awful. That's code for there's not a whole lot of like blind value. Center sucks, and it's tough to build lineups. It's going to be really, really fun, though, I think. Enjoy tomorrow. Make sure you check out Josh Engelman's show. It's one of the best that we run all year here. I'm going to be in chat. Come hang out with us. But he's Ryan. He's one of the best players in the world. I'm Eric. I might be one of the better players tonight. Still just okay. We'll see you guys later.